Okay, folks, just get you all back in and sat down. I think I hear the bell running outside, and hopefully you had a good chat with the exhibitors. So, aim to get you out of here on time, and just going to kick off now at just on 3:30, 3:35 with Liam O'Leary from Johnson & Johnson, and going to chat to us about sustainability in the biologics division, Johnson Biologics, part of Johnson & Johnson, and really just about the new goals that Johnson & Johnson have set, because they've certainly talked to us about the older targets that they had over the years. So I'll invite Liam up now and just set that up for you there, Liam. Yeah, work away.
Thank you, Conor. Thanks, Ron, as well, for the opportunity to talk today. My name is Liam O'Leary. I'm leading the Campus Ireland Energy team, and I'm also main supervisor on the Janssen Biologics side. So I'm going to give an overview of the J&J structure and our credo, and what the credo stands for and how it involves sustainability, and then looking at our Healthy Future 2015 goals and how they're led on to new climate goals for 2020 and sustainability in general, and then also looking at a couple of case studies from our own site in Janssen Biologics, and also looking at to the future of how we're actually going to reach our new targets and what our strategy is going to be. So for globally, for those who know, J&J is operating in over 250 countries, 250 companies in 57 countries. It's divided up into 3 different sectors: MD&D, pharmaceuticals, and consumer. So it covers a lot of areas. My own division would be in pharmaceuticals, so we'd be part of the Janssen supply chain, and then there's Janssen Supply Chain Ireland, which comprises of Janssen Biologics and Janssen Pharmaceutical in Cork. So looking at our credo, I suppose the credo, the main thing here is one element of the credo discusses around our environment and sustainability, and that we must maintain in good order the property that we're privileged to use and protecting our own environment and the natural resources. So this credo was written over 70 years ago, and it still holds true to today, how it's rooted in our heritage, how J&J operate, and that we're actually committed to sustainability. This is just a quote from one of our group chairs on sustainability, and I suppose the big thing here is that we're a health company, and we are one of the biggest health organisations in manufacturing companies in the world. So if we should be investing in health initiatives for sustainability, so that we can improve the planet that we live in. So companies with strong sustainability programs, 55% better morale, 43% more efficient business process, and better, stronger public image, and also employee loyalty. So if we looked at J&J over the years, sustainability, we start back in 1943 with the credo. There's been a number of different initiatives over the years on how we actually progressed on our sustainability journey. Come to 2005, we introduced the Healthy Planet Goals 2010, and then moving on to 2011, there was the Healthy Future 2015 target. And that brings us on to now, where we last October, and next slide, where we're looking at a 2020 vision for carbon reduction across J&J. So in October last year, 2015, the CEO of J&J, Alex Gorksey, made a climate pledge for new targets for J&J. So this is to reduce our absolute carbon on all our facilities by 20% by 2020 and 80% by 2050. One, I suppose, the bigger stretch target here was that by 2020, we want 20% of our electricity on all our sites be from renewable sources, and then by 2050, we want to aspire to procure or produce power in all our facilities from renewable energy. So that's a massive target here by 2050. So, and this is looking at a baseline of 2010. So from that, I suppose we have been committed to clean energy. We have currently 44.7 megawatts of installed or in progress solar. Solar here, we've 10 cogeneration, 3 biomass, 2 geothermals, and 3 wind turbines. So Ireland here, as a campus in Ireland, the 3 megawatt wind turbines are actually on our sites. There's two in Cork, and there's one recently in Limerick. and we've tri-generation Limerick Idler, and I know Paul later will be speaking about more in detail about those two projects in the Vistacon site. So, so we've delivered 15 megawatts of clean energy. So the 3 megawatt wind turbine is being built at the moment, and it's actually operational in February 2016 in Vistacon. We've 5 solar and 3 cogeneration. These are on other sites, and this is the pharmaceutical plant in Little Island where there's a CHP plant installed. So how does Campus Ireland, how we committed to energy efficiency? We have a lot of different J&J energy initiatives. One of them is Project Cold, which is chiller optimisation. We did LED lighting, and I have a case study afterwards on that on the Janssen site. And then the whole campus, we have ISO 50001 certification for the Campus Ireland. And then there's the wind turbines in both the Janssen and our Vistacon sites. So looking at Campus Ireland, what does it comprise of? So we have 5 manufacturing sites around the country. We've Edicon Biosurgery and Vistacon Vision, or Vision Care Ireland, as it's now called, in Limerick. We've Janssen Supply Chain made up of Janssen Pharma and Janssen Biologics in Cork, and Dupree Synthase in Cork also. And we've a couple of offices in Dublin. So with the campus approach, like we've a campus energy team, and our main vision for the energy is that we want to be seen globally as the benchmark for energy management, and we also want to be leaders in energy cost reduction, efficiency, sustainability, research, and CO2 reduction. I suppose one of the big things here is that we were the first in J&J to put wind turbines on our sites, so we are leading the way at the moment. But that is our vision at the moment. So with the Healthy Future goals and with the new 2020 goals, we want to be the first to become carbon neutral with J&J. So just looking at local focus, this is some of the products that we have on our sites. From a campus thing, we have quarterly leadership meetings where we meet the general managers on each site and go through our initiatives and how they're performing on each site. We share knowledge. We use standardised programs. So I'll give an example there in a minute with our ISO 5001, how it's standardised across our site. And then we also leverage cost reduction opportunities for sustainability, not so much just in energy, but in a lot of other areas also. This connect, shape, lead, deliver of how we work as a campus. So looking at Campus Ireland, our energy update. So main highlights for 2015, we had one of our plants here, Vistacon, was certified for ISO 5001. So that was the second last of our biggest energy user to be certified and join on the program that we had for ISO 5001. We have an energy agreement in place with Electric Ireland, so we started receiving credits for the various energy projects over the last number of years with Electric Ireland. We held a campus carbon neutral workshop in Vistacon back in October last year, and that kind of really came out of our new climate goals for 2020-2050, where we looked at all opportunities across the site and decided how we're going to target this and where we're at, gave a snapshot in time of where we actually are and what we're planning to do now. What it did highlight is that we have a very challenging time ahead, but we're committed to it, and we presented to the leadership teams on the sites of where we're actually going and what we need to achieve. And at the moment we're in a data gathering phase, so I'll come to that there in a minute. The other thing then is we're looking at chiller optimisation on both the Janssen Bio and the Vistacon site, and then another goal highlight for last year was that we had a HVAC optimisation project that was very successful in our Dupree site. So for 2016, coming from the carbon neutral workshop, we looked at, we're looking at the moment to do with data gathering around our whole energy management strategy and what we're going to do to reach our 2020 goals, and also looking at energy reduction roadmaps for each site, so what each site is going to commit to reach these targets. We're looking at, one of the main areas is renewable and alternative technology. We're looking at geothermal, gas turbine, CCP room, Vistacon, solar PVs on each of our sites if it's feasible. We've a couple of biomass boilers on both 2 Cork sites, so we're looking at the feasibility of getting these biomass boilers back up and running. But the big one for us here is carbon neutral 2020 for J&J Campus Ireland. So that's where we're at. We're trying to develop our energy strategy so that we can reach carbon neutral 2020. So it's a very exciting time for us in this space at the moment. There's a lot of stuff we're going to work around design and standards, so that and Ivan spoke earlier about energy design, energy efficient design. So that's a lot of stuff we're going to try to introduce an assessment template on each of our sites for new projects. We're doing a lot of R&D around renewable heat incentives. And I suppose one thing here is 50,001, we're not going to neglect that. That is one of the areas where we've seen a lot of opportunities coming from people working on the ground and showing a lot of small projects, but they're all adding to our demand side reduction, which is excellent. And we're going to continue with the Electric Ireland agreement. And then the main one here was Viscon turbine was going to be handed over in Q1 this year. So the campus approach, with our ISO 50001, we have a common energy policy. We are significant energy users. We have internal energy audits across our sites, and we have a cross-site audit team. We started that last year where we did audits in the Cork areas across different sites with the same team, and we'll extend that this year. And then we also have a standard energy audit template to make it a lot easier. So our journey was 2012, we were the first to be certified. Janssen Biologics and Pharmaceutical came on in 2014, Viscon last year, and we're hoping that Edicon will come on board in 2016, 2017. They're just in pre-qualification at the moment for their facility. So I know a lot of people spoke about ISO 50001, so I'll gloss over this slide. But basically, the main elements I find here is that it must be initiated by top management. It must have identified a person in charge. It must be communicated at all levels, and it must have a detailed energy policy that's supported by solid measurement. The solid measurement here, metering, that must be in place. If you're verifying projects and savings, you must have solid measurement in place. And then you also must have the continuous improvement process. From a campus level, I suppose we do a lot of stuff locally here, part of the Plan, Do, Check Act. But at the campus, at the higher level, we have our energy management strategy in place, and we have our targets here. So at the moment we have 20% carbon reduction by 2020, with our baseline being 2010. And at the moment we're working on developing our strategy and coming up with a plan to reach those targets. So just back to the Janssen Biologics sites and go through a couple of case studies. So the first one there I have is on wind. So we worked with the Cork Lower Harbour Energy Group over a number of years to develop this project, comprising of ourselves, Capri Synthes, GSK and Novartis. A very good project, very good in collaboration. It was an excellent project we involved in to work with both sides. So when we said why do we look at wind energy, it was number one is to reduce our electrical costs and our carbon footprint. It was also, I suppose, in the area to promote renewable energy and energy reduction initiatives. So I don't know if any of you have been in Cork Harbour since the turbines have gone up, but it gives a big, strong message for the area. It's a very industrial area, and with the wind turbines in place now, it's progressive. It's showing that the area is committed to clean technology and clean renewable energy. And also, the big thing here is to reduce our costs per kg of product. The turbine, approximately 500,000 savings per annum on the Janssen Biologics sites, and we're also now the producer, so we're exporting to the grid also with our turbine. So it's an Enercon E101 model. It's 99 metre hub height and 50 metre blades. So we're talking about 150 metres up to the hub, up to the tip of the blade, and it's a 3 megawatt unit. So it's been quite a thing. And that was the award we were presented with in 2014, the SAI Collaboration Award. The stats, so people will ask me a lot, how is the wind turbine formed and what have we seen? So I suppose the biggest one here is our electricity imported to the site from the national grid. So we're seeing an average of 47% reduction since they came online in 2014, which is quite significant. And that's also has reduced a massive reduction in our CO2 tonnes, about 24% on average. So this slide probably tells the story itself, where we're averaging about 10.3 gigawatt hours coming in on site. 2014, the turbine came online in April, so we had one or two projects as well, lighting projects that reduced this, but realistically we had 6.5, 37% reduction. And then last year, with the very high winds in the Q4, we saw that a 57% reduction in our electricity imported aside from the national grid. So massive savings being made here with the wind turbine and that, excluding what we actually exported. So just looking at water, on the sustainability element. This picture here, I don't know, you've probably seen, this is from 2012, in December 2012 in Douglas and Cork, where there was a culvert blocked and actually flooded. This is actually just rainfall flooded the village of Douglas very quickly. So there's about 1,200 mils of rainfall locally in the Cork area now. I know the last few months there was probably a lot more than that. So we looked at a water recovery programme in 2010. So we started looking at our water streams and our reject RO and started bringing this back to a rainwater harvest collection tank. And then in 2013 we also put in a borehole on site to also supplement the rainwater harvest tank. And then we have rainwater from the roofs on site also feeding back into the rainwater tank. So we saw almost 26% of all water used on site is actually coming from rainwater now, or the rainwater harvesting tank. We use that for the boilers, chillers and the cooling towers. And they're actually 100% supplied with rainwater. And if needs be during the summer months, we have a borehole that tops up that tank. So up until 2014 there, we had January 2014, we had an annual savings of €200,000 to date on it. So, yep, so I'm going to move on quickly here. The LED lighting was another project we did, resulting in 12%. So we did a pilot project on our 2 manufacturing clean rooms, level 1 and level 2. So this year we're looking at another project on that. So what's Janssen Biologics going to do for carbon reduction? So we need to get 20% by 2020. We did a snapshot in time in 2014, we were at 16%. To date, we did a lot of projects on VFDs over the years, wind energy, HVAC, air change reductions on kilowatt hours. So we did about 1.1 million savings to date on energy projects. Our next steps from 2015 to 2020, we're looking at chiller optimization project, which is in progress at the moment. It's due to be up and running in the middle of April. We're looking at LED lighting across the entire site, HVAC energy reduction, another optimization project, another 7%. Compressed air, and then also we're going to be looking at our boilers and the efficiency around the boilers, another 4% to get us to 20%. So we're looking at projected annual savings of €255,000 in electricity and €140,000 in gas over the next 5 years, bringing us an average of just under €400,000 per annum. Where is that going to take us? It's going to get us to 16%. Where we were in 2014, we're looking to be at roughly 36% CO2 reduction based on our 2010 targets. 2014 versus 2020 cost reduction, based on current prices, we're looking at 34% reduction in electricity and a 17% reduction in gas prices. So thank you. Cheers.
Thank you very much indeed, Liam.